4 million people dead, an area the size of England underwater, bodies floating in waters that stretched to the horizon. This was not war. This was water. The 1931 Yangtze River floods remain the deadliest natural disaster in human history. Nothing before or since has killed more people in a single event. Today you will learn what caused this catastrophe, how it unfolded, and what China did to prevent it from happening again. If you want to understand how natural disasters shape history, hit that like button now. And subscribe, because we break down the events that changed our world. Let's begin. 3 factors converged in 1931. Each one was dangerous. Together, they created a perfect storm. Factor 1. Extreme weather winter 1930 brought heavy snowfall to central China. Snow accumulated in the mountains along the Yangtze River basin. Spring 1931 arrived with unusually warm temperatures. The snow melted rapidly. Rivers swelled. Then came the rain. 7 cyclones struck between July and August 1931. Rainfall exceeded normal levels by 300% in some areas. The Yangtze River could not handle this volume of water. Factor 2. Deforestation. Decades of logging had stripped hillsides bare. Trees that once absorbed rainfall were gone. Soil erosion accelerated. When rain fell, it ran directly into rivers. Nothing slowed it down. Peak flows increased dramatically. The China Meteorological Administration documented widespread deforestation in the Yangtze Basin during this period. Factor 3. Deteriorating infrastructure. China's flood control systems were ancient. Many dated to the Qing dynasty. Maintenance had been neglected for decades. Civil war between the nationalists and communists diverted resources from infrastructure. Dikes were weak. Levees were breached easily. The stage was set for disaster. These 3 factors combined in the summer of 1931. What happened next was catastrophic. This next part is hard to hear, but it is important. If this matters to you, share this video. People need to know this history. July 1931, the breaking point on. July 25th, the Yangtze River broke through dikes near Wuhan. Water poured into the city. Streets became rivers within hours. The flooding spread rapidly. The Yangtze, the Huai, and the Yellow Rivers all overflowed simultaneously. This had never happened before. An area of 180,000 square kilometers went underwater. That is roughly the size of England and Wales combined. The human toll. Begin cities disappeared beneath the water. Nanjing, Wuhan, and dozens of smaller cities were submerged. Water levels reached up to 6 meters in some areas. People climbed to rooftops. They waited for rescue that often never came. The University of Hong Kong's research center documented eyewitness accounts. Survivors described seeing bodies floating past their houses for weeks. The water carried corpses, livestock, and debris in a constant grim procession. Disease and starvation. The immediate drownings were just the beginning. Contaminated water spread cholera, typhoid, and dysentery. Medical supplies were scarce. Hospitals were underwater. Crops were destroyed. Rice paddies, the foundation of China's food system, were ruined. Famine followed the floods. Millions had no clean water, no food, and no shelter. The death count estimating deaths is difficult. Official records were incomplete. Many bodies were never recovered. Conservative estimates place deaths at 1 million. Most historians cite figures between 2 and 4 million. The Chinese government's official count is approximately 3.7 million deaths. This makes the 1931 floods deadlier than the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, Hurricane Katrina, and the 2010 Haiti earthquake combined. 4 million lives, gone in a matter of months. The numbers tell part of the story. The human experience tells the rest. Displacement. An estimated 28 million people were displaced. They lost homes, land, and livelihoods. Refugee camps formed, but they were overwhelmed. Many refugees never returned home. Entire communities were erased from the map. Economic destruction. The floods destroyed China's agricultural heartland. The Yangtze River Valley produced much of the nation's rice, wheat, and cotton. Harvests failed in 1931 and 1932. Food prices skyrocketed. Starvation spread beyond the flood zone. Trade routes were cut off. Cities like Shanghai faced supply shortages despite being largely spared from flooding. Social breakdown. The disaster exposed the weakness of the Chinese government. The nationalist government under Chiang Kai-shek struggled to respond effectively. Local warlords controlled many affected regions. Coordination was poor. Relief efforts were fragmented and inadequate. Public trust in the government eroded. This contributed to the political instability that would define China for the next 2 decades. International response foreign aid arrived but was insufficient. The League of Nations sent assistance. Christian missionaries organized relief efforts. The Red Cross established field hospitals. But the scale of the disaster overwhelmed all response efforts. There were simply too many people in need and not enough resources. Understanding history prevents future tragedies. If you agree, hit that subscribe button. We need people who think critically about the past. China learned hard lessons from 1931. The response shaped the nation's approach to flood control for generations. Immediate relief efforts. The National Flood Relief Commission was established in August 1931. It coordinated rescue operations and distributed food and medicine. Temporary dikes were constructed. Drainage projects began. But these were stopgap measures. The water took months to recede. Long-term infrastructure projects. China recognized that preventing future disasters required massive investment in flood control. Plans were drawn up for comprehensive river management systems. The most significant project was the proposal for the Three Gorges Dam. Engineers identified this location as critical for controlling Yangtze River flows. However, construction would not begin until decades later. Agricultural reforms. The government promoted reforestation programs. Planting trees on hillsides reduced soil erosion and improved water retention. New agricultural techniques were introduced. Farmers built terraces on slopes to slow water runoff. Irrigation systems were modernized. Policy changes. Flood control became a national priority. The government established permanent monitoring stations along major rivers. Weather forecasting improved. Building codes were updated. New construction in flood-prone areas required elevated foundations. Zoning laws restricted development in high-risk zones. Modern legacy. The Three Gorges Dam, completed in 2006, is the direct descendant of plans made after the 1931 floods. It controls water flow on the Yangtze River and generates hydroelectric power. China's current flood control system includes thousands of kilometers of dikes, dozens of major dams, and sophisticated early warning systems. These measures have prevented disasters on the scale of 1931. The 2020 Yangtze River floods tested this system. While significant, the damage was contained. Deaths numbered in the hundreds, not millions. The 1931 China floods killed 4 million people. They destroyed an area larger than many countries. They exposed the fragility of human systems in the face of natural forces. 3 lessons emerge from this disaster. Lesson 1. Infrastructure. Matters neglected. Dikes and levees failed when they were needed most. Investing in infrastructure saves lives. This is not optional. Lesson 2. Climate and human activity. Indirect deforestation made the floods worse. Our actions shape how natural disasters unfold. Environmental protection is disaster prevention. Lesson 3. Preparation determines outcomes. China's modern flood control system works because the nation learned from 1931. Preparation, monitoring, and rapid response reduce death tolls dramatically. History teaches us, but only if we listen. If this video taught you something, like it now. Subscribe for more deep dives into the events that shaped our world. Share this with someone who needs to understand why infrastructure and preparation matter. The 1931 floods killed millions. We remember them so we can prevent the next disaster. Thanks for watching.